Well, a common challenge amongst the buyers that I deal with is getting enough land to satisfy their needs for hunting, but fit within the budget that they have to work with. So today I'm in Pepin County, Wisconsin on a beautiful WRP program property, and this property fits the bill. This property is large, it's great habitat, and today I'm going to talk to you about how this property can benefit you and how to find one for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You're watching The American Landman. Well, you know, for about the last century, farmers were actually encouraged to drain land and put it into a crop rotation. From about 1920 to 1970, hundreds of thousands of acres of the United States land were drained, they were dried out, they were plowed under and put into crop rotation. What this did to the environment was detrimental, as these wetlands serve as the kidney, as the filter for the hydrology and the water quality of this entire area and the entire nation as a whole. Well, for the last 40 years or so, the NRCS has encouraged landowners to put this land back into the wetlands, taking what was marginal property at best and putting into great habitat. It's been great for the environment, it's helped the hunting and the quality of the land as a whole for all species, and it's something you should consider. Well, let's start by defining WRP. WRP stands for Wetland Reserve Program, and it's a federally funded program that recovers old wetlands that had been drained, put into crop rotation, and now the landowner is willing to put it back to its natural state. Oftentimes, this program will buy these properties from you for up to 85% of the value and pay for 100% of the conversion. It's a great program to take marginal use property, those areas that produce crops, very poor crops or very inconsistent crops, bring value back to the landowner and bring it back to a natural state that's great for hunting of all types, and it has excellent quality for the animals that live on that land. Pepin County is typically about $3,500 to $4,500 an acre. But this property is now on the market at around $2,000 an acre. If you add in the upland area, the hardwood timber that has some building spots, this is a great way to get into a low-cost property, probably double the amount of land that you're able to buy, and manage it along with the NRCS program into fantastic hunting property. If you're interested in this type of property, this is how you go about getting one. The first thing is to start with a plan. I'd recommend getting a hold of me as a land specialist because I have a lot of tools to help you identify these properties. I think some of the best ways to look at this is find other WRP lands and see if that watershed has lands for sale or somebody you can approach to purchase that has similar traits to the land that we're standing on. This land, if you look at the aerials, you can actually see the old row crops. At one point, this was growing corn and soybeans. But the Wetland Reserve Program recognized this as an area that was probably once a wetland, and that's why the owners has decided to put it back into that program. The second phase of identifying these properties is to use some mapping tools. I use a map tool called MapRight. And MapRight helps me look at these properties from the air and determine if this is an appropriate property. I can overlay wetland and floodplain and other FEMA maps to determine if this is a property that I might consider. Once I've identified a property, then I'll approach the landowner. Oftentimes these are marginal properties. They don't produce well, they produce inconsistently, they tend to be wet on wet years and sometimes dry and baked on dry years. You approach the landowners, you talk about this property and say, hey, I'd be interested in buying this. I know it's marginal, maybe you're considering getting rid of it because it's just too costly to farm, and that's when their opportunity presents itself. The last step is we come to that farmer, we prepare our maps, we present an offer to purchase, and we pick up this property, oftentimes way below value. WRP programs, what a fantastic way to buy twice the property for half the price. You know, as a land specialist, I can help you identify these properties. We'll even find properties that are appropriate for a conversion such as this before they're done. We'll approach the landowners, we'll buy these marginal properties at best, probably doing them a favor and taking them off their hand. Then we'll contact the NRCS office, we'll enroll the property, and we'll set about improving it. We'll force the equity by putting in some trails, some food plots, we'll hang a couple bank splines, we'll hang some tree stands, we'll put some trail cameras out, we'll do a trail camera survey, and we'll collect that data. We'll force that equity, we'll put it back on the market, and you'll recoup all your money and then some, and then we'll roll it into the next one and we'll do it again. Hey, as a land specialist with Whitetail Properties Real Estate, I can do this. I have the tools. I want to help you find your property. If you're interested in this, then hit that subscribe button, follow me, give me a call, and we'll do it together. Hey, I want to be your guy in the land business. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I'm going to sign off today, but I'll see you next time. You've been watching The American Landman. We'll talk to you later.